We procrastinated into buying our van. We couldn't manifest a brand new air conditioner, unfortunately.
There are no black people. There are no beautiful brown faces. They could even throw you out in the desert and nobody would ever know.
That's how I sound.
He told us that his mechanic had just looked at it. That you 100% can't do it. Peace everyone. Welcome back to Earth Common Medicine. Today we have a question and answer party planned all about van life. I posted on YouTube and also on Instagram that we were going to be filming this video, and we got lots of questions. Oh yeah, and you did too? On our social media. And we got lots of questions, so we are ready to answer them, because as we were making our videos throughout the months that we were, or the weeks that we were in the van, we got so many questions that we just couldn't answer all at once. So we knew that this video was going to have to be made. And we have been here in California for a couple weeks, stationary, not living in the van. Well, we've been sleeping in the van. That's another story. Watch some of our other videos. But we are able to make this sort of video because we've spent some time in the van and now we're not in the van, so we can sort of tell you things
how it all went. Yeah. I have some questions myself. The whole time I was sitting there like, I can't wait till we do a Q&A video, man, because we got to tell people, don't do this.
Yeah, we definitely have to, like...
So many lessons learned.
We learned a lot. And we're not done with being in the van. We're going to be here for a few months.
So much learning to come.
And then we will be back on the road. So,
on the road again.
On to the questions. We got a lot of personal questions also that were like, how did we meet? How old are we? Are we going to have kids? And stuff like that. And we're going to make a separate video that's like all... a personal Q&A video that will be all about us. But today we are going to answer some van life questions.
That's van life, guys. Next time, you can tune in for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of funny stories.
Yeah, drop your questions below for the personal Q&A.
Yeah.
Today's about van life. Our first question we have here is, how long do we want to live this lifestyle? Have we considered a tiny house next? Well, first question is, how long do we want to live this lifestyle?
I mean, we don't really have an end date.
Yeah, I don't have an end date. I think we could live nomadically for majority of our lives.
The rest of our lives.
Yeah, but
I do want to play. I do want a home base. Right now, it's mostly going to be traveling because that's what we want to do. We want to see as much of the world as we possibly can. But as far as the van itself, I think we got into this for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah.
But we're not planning on settling down permanently anywhere for a really long time. Have we considered a tiny house? No, because that's like a stationary. I mean, it'd be cool if we had the money and we could just put one like on my parents' property or something just to like have, but...
Yeah, we have experience living in a tiny house already.
Oh yeah, my dad has a little tiny barn that he converted into a guest house. If you follow these videos, you've heard us talk about it before, but no tiny house plans yet.
No.
Where did we shower?
We showered in a few places, mainly Planet Fitness, right?
Yeah, we mostly showered at Planet Fitness because we have the Black Card membership where you get all of the amenities in the gym and you can bring a guest. It's awesome because you can also work out. Sometimes you didn't, sometimes you just went straight to the shower if it was a day of a lot of driving. Also, truck stops. If we were ever in the middle of nowhere and there wasn't a Planet Fitness near, we would go to a truck stop, and it's expensive. It's like, sometimes it's like $12 to $14 for a shower, for one shower, so we would just both sneak in together. But
nah, they was cool with it. They let us in. Remember, both times they knew what was up. Karina Perez, how do you guys get your space when living together 24/7?
How do you guys get your space when living together?
We don't get no space. I'm always on it like this. She can't go nowhere. So to answer your question, Karina, we're still in the first year of our relationship, and me personally, I don't require that much space from my lover. The 3 feet of space that she has in the passenger seat from the driver's seat, that's enough. But we did spend like space time away from each other. Like we're at the gym, she's in the shower.
Yeah, that was probably the only time I can think that we would actually have a set time away from each other. I mean, we'd wake and spend time together,
always
and
in each
then
other's face.
Eat food, go do whatever activity it is, come back. I mean, we were always together unless it was we would go in the gym, probably work out on separate machines, and then shower in separate showers, and then meet up again, and we would always reunite. Like,
right, we had been away from each other for weeks. Yeah,
so it's actually 1 week until our year anniversary. So maybe once we've been like van laughing and traveling for 10 years, ask us that question again. But for right now, it's been pretty blissful. What are things you both do to remain evolving individually? That might be a question for our personal.
Nah, you can answer that. Answer that shit.
What do we do to evolve individually? We have our separate practices that we have to ourselves. I journal to myself almost daily. You journal to yourself. Matt writes music.
I watch Naruto.
Meditation. We both have our separate meditation practices. He watches Naruto to elevate.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like some people sleep on anime.
You're not even wearing your band. I'm so surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm not wearing my headband.
Hi.
Yeah, now we're good.
Oh my gosh. Music Forever 210 asks us, what have you found to be the most difficult aspect of van life? The most difficult aspect of van life has probably been money.
Yeah.
And no air condition. And no air condition.
Yeah, no air condition sucked. More than the money aspect, because we're pretty good at manifesting. Yeah. We couldn't manifest a brand new air conditioner, unfortunately, though. We tried to do a whole bunch of different things, and we eventually got that little AC, which helped out.
Oh yeah.
It helped out for Rumi.
It helped out for Rumi, but not for us.
Not for us at all.
Yeah, I'd say it was like 80%, 70% no air condition, 30% money, because we had money when we left. It was just about budgeting, and like you said, manifesting money right at the times when we would be running out, and somebody would donate, or I would sell, some healing plans, or
I would sell some Bitcoin.
Yeah, Matt would sell some Bitcoin. What is the most rewarding aspect of van life? The most rewarding aspect of van life is everything. Freedom! Getting to spend all of my time with you.
Yeah.
And Rumi.
Yeah, not having to answer to, well, not that I answered that to anybody at my last job, but just like, having to be there. Having somebody else dictate your schedule. We are completely on our own time. Living completely for us and our baby, Rumi. That was rewarding.
Yeah.
Seeing everything.
Seeing the beautiful sights was so rewarding. And knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
Damn. He wanted us to cover it all. You could just spend a whole video talking about that.
How do we even start that question?
With the purchasing of the van.
Okay. What would we do differently?
Give yourself time when you purchase your van.
Give yourself time, yes. We rushed into buying our van. We had 2 weeks left of living in.
We procrastinated into buying our van. And then we went into the last one.
It's your fault. Because every time I was online looking at vans on Craigslist, looking for vans, or contacting people, Matt was always like, we have to wait until we have enough money. And then we finally got enough money.
That's how I sound? Yo, Rumi, get your mom, B. Get your mom, B. Not saying it no more, B.
Okay. Seriously though, we procrastinated for various reasons.
Most of it was because I thought that we weren't financially. I was so worried about finances in the whole process because I was like, yo, if you get a van for this cheap, it's gonna have this amount of problems and it's gonna ruin the whole trip.
Yeah, but I knew. See, that's how manifestation works. You have to just know. I knew it was going to happen.
Nah, she's right. And she found a great van for $3 grand. It had 66,000 miles on it. And it was, you know, that's a good find right there.
And it was in great shape. You can't find something 66,000 miles on these utility vans. That you never find that. You never find that for under $3,000. So,
but it came with a price, and the price was it was sitting somewhere rusting, rotting away in the weather, out in the open, in some guy's wherever in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And you know, when we looked at it, it looked clean from the outside, and since we didn't have the time that we should have allowed ourselves to check the van out, we had like maybe an hour and a half before this guy he was closing. And we was like, yo, we just drove like an hour and some change to New Jersey to see this van.
Yeah.
I was keen on not even buying the van. I just wanted to check it out.
Well, what got us was that he told...
He was like, somebody else wants to come and get the van.
Exactly. He said somebody was driving up. Somebody was driving up from Florida.
He was like, yeah, I got somebody coming in to see the van tomorrow, so yeah.
And he hit us with a classic salesman trick. Yeah. And I knew he was... Now, I mean, I'm a salesman myself, so I already know what that is. But I was like, damn, you know what? He is right. Like, this is a great van. I'm not really trying to come back out here just to, you know what I mean? Tell us that the van is gone, and then I would have been living with regret.
And we only had like 1 more week until we were leaving, or 2 more weeks.
Yeah, we had like a week.
We only had 2 more weeks until we were leaving, and we still had to get the registration, the title. You know, we still had to like do things with the van. So it was time for us to just get it. We bought it the same day.
Same day. We didn't take it to the mechanic.
He told us that his mechanic had just looked at it and like showed us some piece of paper that said everything was okay. And you know, during it, I think we both knew that this was a bad decision, but we both praying that everything would go right because we just needed to get this van. And
I do with that face.
Yeah, and so afterwards, we found out that the air conditioner didn't work.
Yeah, because we forgot to ask about that or try to run it. So
because it was freezing outside, it was like 15 degrees outside that day. So even if we were to test the air conditioner, of course it's gonna come out cold.
Anyway.
So we didn't test that. Found out it didn't work once we got down to Georgia. The hood latch was broken. Had to get that fixed. The ball joints were messed up. Had to get those fixed. The
rotors
brakes, were messed up. The
tires were dry rotted.
Tires were dry rotted. We found that out on our way down to Georgia. If you've seen the video that's titled 24-hour drive from New York City to Georgia, I will put the little link right there, and you can pause it and watch that video because yeah, the tire went flat and we got all 4 of our tires replaced on that trip. Anyway, there's a yellow ladybug saying hi.
We got a visitor.
A visitor. What would we do differently? We would take our time looking for vans, and we would make sure that we make a checklist on what we're supposed to look for.
Yeah.
Take it to a mechanic.
Take it to a mechanic
before we buy it.
Before you buy it.
And
try to set up, kind of like contact some insurance agencies.
Yeah, before you go, because we were like all over the place with what insurance we should get, and we were at the dealership, and before you get the title handed to you, you have to have the insurance set up, and we hadn't done our research, so we were like frantically researching in the dealership, trying to find the best plan, and that is not the way to go.
A pretty high premium right now because of that.
That's not the way to go. Do your research, obviously. I've always been a last minute person. We're just last minute people, so we just...
That is true.
Everything fell into place the way it was supposed to at the last minute. Everything.
That a good old instant gratification monkey.
Yeah.
Markia or Markia? Markia Meadows. Sorry if we butchered your name, Miss Meadows. But you asked, do we ever think about or miss living in a house instead of a van? Personally, I don't.
I don't either.
And we're in a house now, so... And I kind of probably always had that in the back of my head. Therefore, I was able to get over not like living in a house. But while we were in the van, it didn't even cross my mind.
No, I loved being free and just waking up in the morning and haven't even brushed our teeth or done anything. We just jump right in the front seat, crank the car, and go wherever we want to spend our morning. Like as soon as we open our eyes, breath stanking, crusty eyes, we're like, let's go to the beach. Okay. And we like drive to the beach, half asleep, and we park, and then we open up the doors and the windows, and that's where we spend our morning and brush our teeth and have our breakfast. Like, that is bliss. Okay. Nice. Next question. How did we receive mail? How do we receive mail?
By Austin the 7th.
Oh yeah, by Austin the 7th. Hi, Austin the 7th. We didn't receive mail. When we left New York City, we forwarded all of our mail from our apartment in New York to my mother's house in Georgia, and so she's receiving all of our letters and bills now. And
hi, Mom.
Hi, Mommy. And awesome. She just lets us know whenever anything comes. She takes pictures of it, and if we want her to open it, she takes a photo, we handle it. Luckily, we have a trustworthy mom that...
The best mom!
that we can do that. I know that some people that do the van life thing do not want to do something like that, but I tell my mom everything, so it doesn't matter. Whatever she sees comes in the mail.
Speaking of telling your mom everything, she hasn't starved me today, Mom.
Oh, shut up. That's an inside joke. Okay, there's a million questions for how old we are, so we'll probably answer that a million times, but for now, I'm 24.
I'm 32.
Yeah.
How has van life strengthened your relationship together, if at all?
From Tiana Corridor. How has it strengthened our relationship together? Because it was a trying project. From the beginning, from us deciding to do van life, we had so many deep discussions diving into each other's like goals and work ethics and thought patterns, trying to figure out how we were going to even create this dream of ours, which definitely made us grow in that way, because we had to plan it, we had to make, I mean, we did so much. It was so stressful in the beginning. And then buying the van, I mean, we made all these big decisions and we had only been together for a few months. I mean, in a week it'll be 1 year. So we had to get over the honeymoony stuff and make real couple decisions, like real big decisions, like buying a car together and leaving an apartment together and moving across the country together really quickly. So I think it strengthened us by, we learned a lot about each other.
We'd never got into an argument until we started this freaking project.
Yeah, very true.
And I think our first argument was like in like a Home Depot or something. So I think that's how it strengthened us by we learned a lot. Like it was the first time where
we saw each other at our limits. Yeah.
It's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to find that out. You would, anybody who is together with someone else in like a real serious relationship, you want to know.
We're not crazy, is it?
We're not crazy, yeah, you gotta find that crazy.
Okay, Harley Queen asks us, how do you know what the perfect van is? The answer to that is different for everyone.
You gotta know what your budget is.
Yeah.
What space you want.
Yeah, we knew that we were moving.
Yeah, into the van. Like,
so we had to put all of our stuff in there.
And we had to remain incognito, so we didn't want something that just screamed out, we're living in here.
Yeah, go through that checklist. Do you want to be stealthy or do you not care because you'll be sleeping in campgrounds all the time? In that case, you can get something with a pop top and solar panels on the roof, and it'll look more like a lived-in place. If you want something that you're going to be living in for like 10 years and plus, get something new. Maybe get a Sprinter van because you'll have a lot more room, especially depending on how many people are going to be living in there with you. There's so many variables that go into it on the technical side, and on the soulful side, I would say, you know, it'll all fall into the place the way it's supposed to. The right van will come to you.
Yeah, trust the universe. Overall, how much did you guys spend to convert the van into a home? By Sabrina Brion.
Adding everything that we did from getting the van until getting to Georgia when it was time to build it was probably a good $4,500. Maybe even $800 because we got brand new tires, registration, license plates, inspection,
on the way down there, we had to get
little repairs. Yeah. So like a good almost $5,000 we had spent before we even started the renovation. And then when we did the renovation, I would say from van to home cost us like $2,000. And that's with the $500 power station we used with our solar panel, the $100 solar panel all the, you know, the mattress, which was like 120 bucks. All the little small details in the van, camping stove, wood, insulation,
screws,
tools, power tools. I'd say it costs us about $2 grand.
Yeah.
If y'all had a child, would you continue your freedom journey van life with the child? This is from Everything Amani. We talked about it a few times if it were to accidentally happen. I think we would definitely take a break for the last like trimester and birth and stuff like that, but I'm totally not opposed to having a young child traveling van life. And I am positive we would get a new van though, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna need something
souped up.
Something souped. Yeah.
I would want to get a Sprinter with a tall roof, and you know, it would definitely have to be a new van. But I'm not opposed to traveling on the road with a baby. But we're not planning kids anytime soon.
Not at all.
How did we use the bathroom? We use the bathroom most of the time, 95% of the time, in public restrooms, gas stations, truck stops, Planet Fitness, grocery stores, wherever we were at the time. Starbucks to use the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And we only used outside a few times. In one of my videos, I show you, maybe the New Orleans one, I talk about the little like portable pee-pee that I would use.
And there was rare occasions where it's early in the morning and you gotta take that pee, but you're like too lazy to go anywhere. So we had this like...
Did we tell people like we were too lazy, so we were peeing in the bottle?
Listen, I was
say for emergencies.
I was too lazy to get out the van and go look for somewhere to pee, and I had to pee really bad because it's the morning. And when it's the morning, you just get out of bed, you plan on coming back to bed, so you don't want to go too far. This is the convenience of living in a house. We don't live in a house. So people want to know, I'm a dude, I don't necessarily have to do too much to pee. So I have a spill-proof bottle. I don't know what it's called.
A Nalgene water bottle.
Nalgene water bottle. Screws on, top screws on, and it has a wide mouth so you can get the whole, you can put your sack in.
Oh my God.
Hey, me neither. Hey, you.
As told by Lana, says, how did we find work while we were on the road besides the farming thing that we're doing now? We didn't find work while we were on the road. We just knew that we were coming here to do this gig. We might be able to answer that question better once we get back on the road and we're living on the road for a longer period of time. But for now, the only sort of income we had while we were on the road was my healing plans that I sell on my website, and you know, Skype coachings and stuff. So, and donations we were receiving also. Is it too hot in the van without the AC? How does Ruby stay in the van when you're going out? Is it too hot for him? This is from Giselle Seed. She lives in Florida and she's converting her van, but she doesn't know if 2 Max Air fans will be enough to cool down the van while the 2 dogs live in it with them. So when we first got in the van, we would put the windows down enough so that Remy couldn't jump out. We have all of our windows on the side punch out to where they're like diagonal and they're open a little bit. And we would put up all of our reflectix on the windows to keep the sun out. And that's all we did for Rumi, and it worked for the most part. It wasn't like boiling in the van. He would get a breeze. But 90% of the time we would take Rumi with us. We had a little backpack for him, and he would go everywhere because he's registered as my emotional support animal. So he can come on planes with me. He can come in most restaurants and stores, grocery stores, anything. So we would just put him in the backpack and keep on rolling, hikes, anything. But if we knew he couldn't come, like when we went on a swamp tour, when we went snorkeling, stuff like that, we left him in the van and he was fine. But we only did it a few times until we bought that little tiny air condition. It was like a $60 personal, some people call them swamp coolers. There's a cheaper one that's made by the As Seen on TV called the Arctic Air, but we got a little bit more upgraded version from Target, and it can plug right into our power station, and we just fill it up with water, and it works for like 3 hours at a time, and it just blows out cold air. It's not very good at cooling down the entire van, which is what we were really hoping we could do, but it worked great for Rumi, because then we could leave all the windows up and just turn it on, and he would just lay right in front of it and be cool, and it would be perfect. So To answer your question, Giselle, maybe for your dogs you should look into getting one of those. There are more expensive ones that are even bigger, that are probably more well made, but I recommend taking your dogs with you as much as possible and not leaving them in the car for very long. When we did go places, we didn't leave Rumi in the car for very long at all. Angel Brown asks, where do you guys want to go, and have you considered taking it deeper south, like beyond the border? Heck yeah!
Everywhere.
We want to go everywhere. If you've been, I know Angel, actually I've seen your comments a lot because I know you and your man are also, you know, have done van life before and are planning it again, so hi. We're so sad that we didn't get to make our way across to California slower. I know you saw in the last episode that we had to sort of rush because of this California opportunity, but we plan on seeing like every state. We want to spend so much time in the van, traveling all over our country, and we want to go to Mexico, right?
I want to go to Mexico, Canada. Borders are a human construct to me. I want to cross all of them.
Yes. We're going to cross all of them. Maybe even Alaska one day, maybe even down to South America, like, heck yeah, we have no limits in our mind. We're gonna make everything happen. 2 things that you would change, add, remove about the van. Would we get a toilet or shower? I'll start by saying we will not get a toilet or shower in this van because there's absolutely no room for it. I haven't felt the need to get a toilet inside the van because we always parked where we could use the bathroom nearby. Yeah. And the shower was unnecessary either because
Planet Fitness comes in handy. It's almost everywhere.
Yeah,
like, it's like Starbucks. It's pretty crazy.
They are everywhere. Yeah. And why waste money on getting some sort of shower hookup when it's gonna come out all cold, or you're gonna spend a lot of money to have hot water come out of it? And I mean, when you can just go to the Planet Fitness and get a nice shower. Yeah. I mean, it's a public facility, but most of them are clean enough to tolerate, so.
I also could dive in deeper to that question because it's my personal belief that we don't need to shower every day.
Yeah.
That's just me. I know a lot of people are like, what?
I know, but I agree.
Especially my sister. My sister's like, I need 90 showers a day. Shout out to you, Gina, but I'm not one of those people.
I agree. Oh, this is a good one. From Silver Hiker. How long had you guys been dreaming of van life before you got to hit the road? That's a great one.
I will start by saying I wasn't specifically dreaming of van life ever until Valadia started mentioning it. And I saw it on YouTube and I was like, yeah, that's pretty dope. But I have always wanted to travel, and this became the conduit for it.
Yeah. So for me, I began dreaming of van life probably like 5 months before we decided to do it. I discovered it on YouTube. I follow all of the mainstream people you guys probably follow as well that are van life travelers, like Jinty Fell.
Shout out to Jinty.
Shout out to Jinty. You're a huge inspiration for us starting van life for sure.
I was like, man, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, Jinty's family is beautiful. Chris, hello. We're such nerds. So we watched those videos. We watched tons of other van lifers. Susie Cruz, Kaya Cloud Surfer.
Raw Alignment when she did.
Raw Alignment when she was in the van. Off the Grid with the kids, sister, you are doing that thing.
Word.
Yeah. So there are a few people. Roy, that funny channel.
Yeah, Roy the comedian.
Roy the comedian. That's a great one. Yeah. So we began watching all of these videos on YouTube.
And that's when we were like, yo, we could do this.
Yeah.
There's no way we can't do it.
And our lease was up in, let's see, it is now June 2018. Our lease was up in March of 2018, and we decided in January of 2018, we were like, you know what?
We're gonna go for it.
What are we gonna do when our lease is up? Because we were first looking around online, looking on Craigslist for apartment opportunities.
Yeah, we were gonna stay in New York City.
We were gonna stay in New York. I mean, it was just like, the prices, I mean, every year, I've moved almost every year I lived in New York City. I've lived in tons of apartments, and every time, the prices are just going up, up, up. Like when I first moved, I could find a decent place to live in for like $1,200 a month. Now it's like you can't find a decent place that's like under $2,200 a month for a rabbit hole.
High price of low living.
So we decided to
van life it is.
A couple months before we left, we were like, let's just buy a van. We didn't have any money, but we were like, let's figure out how to get money, buy a van, move into it, and drive to California. The Utopians asks us, okay, I'll answer your first part in the personal video, but the second part of your question, where are y'all planning to travel to after your work is done in California? We are planning to leave here at the end of the year, go to the South, maybe Alabama, Georgia, Florida area where both of our families are, and spend the holidays. After that, India. And then Peru. Yeah, January, February is looking like India, and after that, perhaps Peru, and we'll see what happens after that. Japan. While we're here, while we're here, I would like to head up to Oregon though. Yeah, we're definitely going to Oregon sometime soon. Yeah. Soon come. Sebi S says, what has been your best experience in the van so far? You want me to go first? What's been your best experience? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Shoot, man, I want to say the night we had outside of the morning call in New Orleans. That was an amazing night right there. Yeah. We explored the New Orleans Central Park, we called it, which is called City Park. City Park, yeah. And it's huge, and we camped there. Huge! Yeah, you're not really supposed to camp there, but we camped at this 24-hour coffee spot in the middle of the park, and then all night until like 3 a.m. just explored the park and like just tripped out in all of this amazing forest, 1,000-year-old trees and lakes. It was like dark, and it was an awesome night. That was one of my favorite nights too. Yeah, for numerous reasons. Yeah. Undisclosed. Nah, but Key West is dope too. Key West is in the close second. Key West is a close second. I love Key West. The beach, I love the beach. Y'all, I love the beach. What kind of van would we suggest to a first-time van lifer? This is from Mariah McKenzie. Again, I'm gonna say whatever you feel like matches with you. What's your budget like? And if it's a really low budget, I would recommend you getting the type of van that we had because they're much cheaper than Sprinter vans and camper vans. And you can probably find one with a low mileage that's sort of healthy. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, and yeah. Ours was not a cargo van because cargo vans don't have the windows. Ours is a passenger van that had all the seats in it that we ended up removing. So I recommend that type of van if you are a first-time van lifer because you can do it nice and simple like we did, just a pally. You don't have to do all the fancy hookups that some other people do, but that's not saying that first-timers don't go all out because you can do that too. It's all about what fits with your needs. Miss Coco, we gonna get them mothballs, all right? Trust and believe. We at some point we will get some mothballs. Lady T Coca, you have commented on like 5 videos talking about these mothballs. Make sure we get some. We gonna get these mothballs, mama. We gonna get the mothballs and we gonna put them around this house, wherever we need to put them, probably in like the attic area. Are mothballs toxic though? I haven't done any research on mothballs. Nah, I don't think so. They've been using them for like 3,000 years. They've been using everything, a lot of toxins. Oh, no, I don't think Rooney gonna mess with that. Okay, well, we're gonna research it. Thank you for the advice. We got you, mama. Are you guys coming to Arizona again? Teresa Santillan asks, and the answer is yes, because we did not spend enough time in Arizona or Utah or New Mexico or Nevada, which is all states that we wanted to like really spend some time in because there's so much beauty. Ashley Frost says, when you're on the road, how do you handle hand washing in public places to ensure you're using vegan soaps? Well, that's a good question. Unfortunately, we just wash our hands with whatever the place has. I'm sure that we've used some that just on animals. I'm not on that level of vegan yet, I don't think I've ever gone to like a public place and not used their soap because I didn't know whether or not if it was vegan. Yeah. I don't think I'm there yet. But thank you for, I didn't know that level of vegan existed. Thank you for that. No, that level exists, man. People are hardcore. People don't want to be a part of the destruction. And I am with you on that. I'm with you, yeah. True story. I never even thought about that. Now, I know we don't buy, but like as far as public spaces, it never clicked until right now. Thank you, bro. Sorry. So thanks, Ashley, for bringing that to our attention. Maybe I'll start carrying a little baby soap with me. Yeah, for real. Instagram questions. The Earth Mama says, oh, cool fangirl. The Earth Mama says, I'd like to hear your tips on food and water. How do you store enough water, and do you use a cooler with ice, or do you think a little fridge would be better? Any tips on the topic would be great. So we weren't able to afford a little tiny fridge for 2 reasons, money and space. And then we would buy things pretty much every single day. Like that day, our groceries we would buy, and we would store some things in the van, but most produce does not live well in a hot van. So we would just get things that day, and if we wanted something like, you know, coconut milk yogurt or something like that, or kombucha, then we would buy those cheap $2 hot cold bags,
bag of ice,
put ice in it, and then put all of our stuff in it, and it would stay there pretty much all day. And storing water, that's the problem with the water situation, is most van lifers that we see that have these huge gallon tanks, they fill them up in national parks that have tap water, they fill them up at grocery stores that have the water machines, and we don't drink that type of water. We don't drink purified water that's tapped, that has fluoride in it, or any other harmful chemicals. We drink spring water from the source, which usually comes from jugs that we have to buy, unless we find a health food store that has a Kangen water machine that will make alkaline water for us, or a spring water tap, which they had one at the Grand Canyon. It was dried out. But, you know, it's hard to find those things. Maybe we could have tried harder. I know there are like websites that help you locate spring water taps and stuff like that. When we go in the van again, I want to try harder to do that. But for now, we had to buy a lot of water.
Yeah.
Besides YouTube, is there any other way to make money on the road with self-employment and not solely with savings? I don't know. We survived off of savings and donations. I'd say, what's your skill set, you know? Because I make money through my healing plans. So if you have something that you can do online, perhaps it's selling your bracelets, and then you can go to the post office wherever state you're in and sell your bracelets online, or you write blogs, or you coach people, life coaching, or you teach courses. You could teach online courses that you charge for. There's so many ways. Check out some YouTube videos, because I'm not an expert in passive income and making money on the road. I watch other people's videos to learn more about that. Also, I know some people that live nomadically, they work seasonally, like at camps, summer camps. They just spend like 3 months working, and then they make enough money to travel for a while, or they'll like stop for a month and pick up a job at some farm or something. Like you can look on sites like Workaway. You could look at Wolf, WWOOF. Most of the farms there, you are working there in exchange for staying there for free, but a lot of farms will also give you a stipend, so maybe you can do that and make money. Next question was for me from INYKAB, and she asks about beauty regimen, and I remember someone else asked about hair also while living in the van, and I kept it simple. It wasn't anything special, and when we get back in the van, I'll make a video about it. But I'd say what keeps my skin looking the best is my diet, because I drink a lot of water and I eat mostly healthy fruits and vegetables and whole foods. So yeah. Natural Queen Vault says, what was the most difficult part of your van build? Are there any challenges in regarding to van life that we should know before taking the plunge?
The most challenging thing is just being a noob. It won't be nearly as challenging. Like what took us probably 2 or 3 weeks to do in that van, if we were to do it again, it'll probably take us a week.
Yeah, and I'd say that it would have been a lot less stressful if we were people that were less last minute and were more like preparatory sort of people.
Yeah.
But we get so excited, and we just like, as soon as we got the money, we just got the stuff and we wanted to start. And we didn't do a lot of research. And I know some people even sell like van build out guides. We didn't want to buy anything, we just wanted to just do it. And so if you have a little bit more patience and you take your time researching, and if you know anyone that's into carpentry and work like that, and you bring them over, have them look at it, ideas, you know, we were in a rush just out of our own excitement to where it caused a lot of frustration. Appreciatified asks us, hi Jessie, ask us, if you could design the van of your dreams, how different would that be from your current van? Oh, our dream van for me would be a brand new VW camper that is custom built with a pop top, with solar panels that are on the top, and they also like diagonally move for when we are parked and we need to get better angle. It would have inside closet storage for our clothing, swivel seats. The driver and the passenger seats would swivel and turn around so you could face inward when we're sitting, which would be so dope. And all of our woodwork out of cedar, because cedar smells so good and is a great quality wood. I would have done the floors, the walls, and the ceilings out of cedar with a big, tall pop-top van. And then had some room for like maybe a hanging plant. I would have done the pop-top, the fan and the roof so that we can cook inside instead of cook outside. We could stand up and have a whole kitchen set up in there with a little miniature fridge, with running water. Yeah, I think we would do like the whole typical van life setup you guys see that is people that really put time into their vans. We would do it like that. And our van would have air conditioning.
Yeah, a must. You would build the van around the air conditioner.
Yeah, we would buy an air conditioner and then build a van. Nady Webster Roman says, which are your top 3 favorite campsites you've tried? Anything close to Florida? We did not go to like barely any campsites. We parked in mostly parking lots that we weren't supposed to sleep in. And
we wanted to go to campsites, but they were too expensive.
They were too expensive, and you can find free campsites on some websites, but a lot of them weren't the best option for us. So Florida, I would tell you, is sort of difficult. When you get over to the west side or the middle of America and the desert areas, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada,
tons of free stuff.
There's great free campsites. You can sleep all over the desert for free, but Florida, we did not look out with any free campsites in Florida. So I would say Walmarts and 24-hour Planet Fitnesses, and if you want to pay for them, you can pay for some, but it's always like $35 a night to sleep places, and we were like, nope. It's Ashe Rose says, how has van life been for both of you as a black couple / couple of color in terms of interactions with other travelers and those in the van RV community? And number 2, how has your van life been for both of you individually from a gendered perspective? That's a great question. 2 great questions. I would say it's been absolutely amazing because people always do a double take, like, wait, what's going on? Especially when we would show up at these national parks and stuff, there are no black people, there are no beautiful brown faces anywhere, like traveling at these RV stops and truck stops. And so first of all, seeing a family doing that looks like us always makes people stare a little bit. We look sort of unique, especially when we would have Rumi chilling on the dash or in our arms. We would constantly get stares and questions. What are you guys doing? Oh, cool van, cool cat, that's awesome. We would tell them, follow us on YouTube. So I'd say we got a lot of attention, and I personally felt empowered being black and doing this, because you all know when you are looking up on YouTube or whatever social media platform you're on, the hashtag van life, or look up van life, it's mostly white people, lots of Australians, Europeans doing the thing, and not a lot of black people from America doing this life. So not a lot of black people from anywhere.
It's true. I felt mostly, I don't know, maybe it feels my bias or me being paranoid, but it was our New York place. I was like, everybody's gonna see our New York place and be like, what are they doing out here?
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel any type of a way as far as just out of a perspective of a person of color.
Sometimes we got a little nervous, right? Like when we were in...
Yeah, I mean, there's so many towns where you get like that get out type of vibe.
Probably was the most prominent when we got here in California. We live here in Northern California right now for the next couple of months, in the middle of nowhere, in a tiny town. Once you get out of all these farms area, you're in a tiny town where everyone knows everyone, and that's a little nerve-wracking, having a big black van with bright yellow New York license plates. And us looking the way we do, you know, brown faces, long locks, big afro, hairless cat, we stand out. And so when we were in small towns like on the road, we made sure to like get in and get out. And then also here, we've made sure to just like be swift and not hang around anywhere for too long and not cause any commotion. I mean, we're never doing anything like illegal or anything in trouble, but anything to get in trouble, but we still like, you know how some people are crazy in these little towns. They can kill you and throw you out in the desert and nobody would ever know. So we try not to step on anyone's toes. The second part of the question is, how has van life been for both of you individually from a gendered perspective? And I would say, as me identifying as a female living in the van has been very empowering. to leave my past beauty regimen and closet full of hundreds of outfits.
Show them.
Armpit hair. It has released a lot of societal impressions of what it means to be a female. And I have lived as a bush rat now, wild woman, and it feels amazing. So I'll say that. What about you? How has it felt from a gendered perspective? As a man living freely?
I would say it doesn't make me feel any different than any other day. I don't think fan life has changed anything as far as how I feel as a man or being a man in a band.
Was anyone against this? Did you get any negative feedback from anyone? That's the second part of Bree's question, and the answer is yes. When we first started, so the main way that we made money for this was through GoFundMe, and we got tons of donations from there. Thank you everyone again who donated. Shout out to Fifi, she donated the most, $1,000 to our adventure. Shout out to my mom who gave a lot of money, probably near 1,000, and continues to support us sometimes when we are at the rock bottom. So love you, Mom.
My dad gave 500. Word.
Yeah. Shout out to Dad. We love you.
Yeah, people were really supportive.
People were so generous.
We had more supporters than haters. And
when we first put the video up on our YouTube, you know, we definitely heard some people like calling us hippies and saying that
that the whole idea was stupid, that we should just get jobs, stuff like that.
Yeah, and like you know, people that were jealous, saying like, why are you guys asking for money? That it was not okay for us to ask for money from our community for something like this, you know, which I think is quite silly, because if you don't want to donate, then you don't have to donate. But if you want to help us elevate and move towards our dream, then you will give money. I mean, it's simple as that.
If you have a problem asking for help, don't try to convince other people that
they shouldn't. We had no shame in asking the community to guide us throughout this journey. And we worked our butts off too. I worked 3 jobs before we left New York City. We worked.
Even though I didn't know it was gonna be van life, I knew that I was gonna need a nice chunk of change.
And we lived frugally before we left.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of family members, maybe on my side, were a little less supportive, you know, asking questions, and maybe not with the intentions of being negative, but maybe just not really knowing and understanding what we wanted to do. And so there was a lot of people that were not really supportive of the idea of us living in our car and just sort of going by the wind. But at the end of the day, we got a lot more support than some people get. Our last question is from Ice Personified. She says, have you encountered a lot of other Black Afro-Latino couples on the road? If not, why do you think there is a lack of Black and Latino Afro-Latino presence in this lifestyle? Great question. I think it's because our communities have not embraced it enough. Have not embraced this lifestyle of freedom. It's not as encouraged in our communities as it is encouraged in European and white communities. When you look at the hippie movement, you don't see a lot of Black people. You see the white people with the long hair, and they're freely frolicking in the wind. And there was a lot of other different stories happening with Black people at that time. So I think that history has trickled down into 2018, and our elders are encouraging for us to work hard so that we can get money, so that we can provide for our families, and we don't have to be subjected to the institutionalized, unequal treatment towards people of our color. And I think that we should liberate ourselves of those thoughts. 100%. That was a huge reason why we decided to jump in the van looking the way that we look, because I want people that look like us to know that you 100% can do it. Ask your community for help. What skill set do you have? Sell things. Sell everything you own. Stop worrying about the latest Jordans and the latest Nike, whatever, Adidas, blah, 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 blah. None of that stuff will serve you. Get rid of all your junk, get a van, and get out on the road and learn the way that we really learn. You learn through life experience. You don't learn through sitting down and reading books all day and looking through people's Instagram, wishing that you had the life of freedom. And I just know that Black and Latino parents are less likely to encourage that. There are some that encourage it, because my mom was #1 fan on this journey. But yeah, that's what I think. I think that's why there are less of us on there, but it's gonna change because I have had hundreds of people with brown faces tell me that they are about to embark on their journey and that they've been inspired by us. So yes. All right, so we've gone through most of the questions that we had on Instagram and on YouTube. If you asked us a question and it didn't get answered and you think it was about van life, drop it down in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to all of you. If you have any questions that are for us personally, like how did we meet, how old are we, how long have we been together, marriage, kids, all that good stuff, drop them below and we will answer them on our next Q&A video. If you liked this video, please give this video a thumbs up to help our channel move on up in the YouTube universe. If you want to join in on our ventures, on our journey through this crazy thing called life that we are trying to do, y'all. No, we ain't trying to do it, we're thriving, man. We're thriving with our positive minds, positive intentions. Then you can hit that little red subscribe button down there, that bell. That is so that you can be notified every time us make another video. If you want to join our community even further and possibly become one of our producers on this channel, go to the Patreon link that I will put below and become one of our supporters. We love all of you.
Like that, really? Can we do that one more time? Cut. Yeah, we spoke too much.
Oh.
We can't remember that shit. Hey, you! Hey, just let that shit go. And it's quiet. You ain't gonna wake nobody up. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Have gratitude. Remember to tell your family you love them.
Give hugs.
Remember to drink water and eat lots of fruit.
And live in abundance.
Yeah, you are in abundance.
Live in alignment with your abundance. Zing.
Subscribe. Or else.